Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to show you this cute little case and why it failed. If you like this video and want to see how I fix it in the future, make sure to like and subscribe. For this project, I wanted to create a case that was meant to look soft, almost like looking at a toy, because not many cases in the market have this feel. I'll cut to the chase and just let you all know that placing the case fans on the bottom was the cause of the fail. If you follow my channel, in the future I'll show you how I kept the aesthetics of the case while solving the fail. Despite the negative outcome of this revision, it was still good practice before solving with a new revision. By going through this process, I was able to learn a few things, like fit tolerance and how to orient the revised parts in the future. Not only was this case a design fail, I also encountered some other fails, like hurting myself here with a hot soldering iron. Stay safe, y'all. This part holds the fans together. This will hold fans together too, along with the hard drives. This part attaches to the front of the case, holding the hard drive and mounting the front bottom corner of the motherboard to the case and the fans. This will attach to the front corner of the motherboard, Wi-Fi antennas, power button, system LEDs, and the case and fans. This bracket provides tension for the cloth top that will be installed later. It'll attach to the case using these heat insert locations. The rear bracket holds the rear of the motherboard, attaches to the case and fans, and allows the use of the rear input and output. This simple piece is just the power button. The bottom shell sandwiches the fans and attaches to the motherboard brackets. The middle shell covers the electronics and allows the use of the front input and output ports. To begin putting the case together, the two hard drives attach in the middle. I then attach the front side hard drive bracket, then the rear bracket. The motherboard then slides in between the two rear mounting points. One screw goes in the rear bottom, the rear top, then the front bottom. I then attach the Wi-Fi hardware in their designated spots in the front bracket. If you get bored with this motion, just count to 10 and repeat. This screws to the top front of the motherboard. I didn't want the front LEDs shining to the front of the case, so I decided to face them backwards on the front bracket. They removed by spreading the clips. The power button then screws into its mounting hole. The front LEDs slide into their holes and are kept in with friction. Make sure not to forget to plug in the power button and LED leads. Then install the hard drive cables like so. Place the fans in this orientation, making sure the holes are aligned with the heat inserts. Carefully place the bottom shell over the fans and again making sure the holes are aligned between the case, fans, and the heat inserts. Then carefully screw it all together. It's hard to see, but I placed a small piece with two heat inserts under the middle holes of the fans and case. Next, I screw in the front mount for the cloth bracket. Followed by the rear mount of the cloth bracket. The Wi-Fi antennas are screwed in and then folded down for a clean and sleek install. You might not have to do this part, but the fans that I'm using need an adapter to work with PCs. I also use a splitter that allows one fan port to control two fans as shown. Here I'm doing a sloppy job of cable management, since this was the first round of testing. I'm glad I did it quickly since the revision didn't turn out. To help give the fan some intake clearance, I used some silicone feet stuck at 4 corners. The middle shell slides over everything, and I make sure to flex it away from the I/O. I then carefully center the button in the case before snapping the shell in place. This is where things get a little tricky, since I'm only using friction to keep the cloth in place. A lot of patience and a small thin piece of plastic will eventually set the cloth in place like so. Holding down the opposite side of the fabric will help keep things in place while you work on a section. I'm using speaker fabric here since it's known to allow some air movement. FYI, the fabric was not the issue. Things were looking okay during stress testing until I turned on Cinebench and the CPU started thermal throttle. Off camera, I installed a lower power CPU to test, and it did pass, but was dangerously close to the thermal throttling limit as well. So I declared the thermals of the case a fail. I automatically assumed the cloth top was the issue for the thermal problem. I decided to print out a non-cloth top that still looked the part. So I proceeded to dismantle the case and remove the cloth and the bracket. I prepped the new top panel and installed some heat inserts to keep it in place. Sadly, even without the cloth or even the new panel, I still experienced thermal throttling with an AMD Ryzen 5700G, so I'm calling this a continuation of the fail. As a last-ditch effort with this design, I got a new CPU cooler that has cooling fins parallel to the case fans and designed a new fan shroud for it. I had hoped the fan shroud could stop recirculated hot air from re-entering the heatsink. I saw some improvement with the use of the shroud design, but all it did was delay thermal throttling while using the AMD Ryzen 5700G. I'm sure you can guess what my resolve is, and please comment below what you think it is. In the meantime, let's just pretend that the case doesn't have thermal issues, and just appreciate how cute it is. I didn't plan on sharing the print files for this specific case because I consider it a failure and a revision is already on its way, but if I get enough individual requests, I'll share it. Once again, I want to thank everyone who has liked my videos, subscribed to my channel, and wrote helpful and caring comments. You all make this worthwhile. Keep your eyes peeled for the follow-up. Thanks everyone.